coming here to speak to you is one of my favorite things of my painting career. Because I remember a few years back when I was in high school that my dream was to one day perhaps be able to do what I love and what my passion was. And I had two passions. One was for animals. I grew up with all kinds of animals in my backyard. I'm originally from Mexico, Tampico, which is in the Gulf of Mexico, and I always loved to paint. So I decided to combine those two, which is what I encourage you to do at this point. I'm sure that many of you have a little bit of an idea of what it is that you would like to do when you grow up, or what kind of college or degree you would like to study. I went to business school not liking it. And so I wasn't very good at the business of going to school for that vocation. During my spare time, I remember going to my dorm and always taking as much free time to exploring how to convey the emotions that I felt for the animal world around me. So that's what led me to the creation of the Naturalismo process. What Naturalismo is trying to not paint what animals, flora and fauna look like, but what they feel like. So what I do is I go into scuba diving expeditions. Who here has scuba dived before? Very nice. I'm already picking my favorite guys in the room. So I love scuba diving, and those of you that have experienced it have first-hand knowledge of how incredibly vibrant and how amazing it is to be exposed firsthand into the underworld of amazing creatures of incredible colors, movement, rhythm. We found so many spirit uplifting emotions in the process of scuba diving. But I also do expeditions. I also go to different rainforests around the world. I also do expose myself to any kind of natural environment, to where when I arrive and when I'm there, I just let everything around me move me in whatever direction that is, and there will always be a particular exotic bird. There will be, perhaps through a photographic safari, an amazing herd of incredible giraffes just gliding through the plains of Tanzania. Those are the moments that I try to capture and bring into my canvases in a way that it reminds me how it felt like to spend a week, a month, or even more time surrounded by God's amazing gift of the animal world. So with the Naturalismo process, I thought, okay, if I were to go to the art supply store and then grab what's available to us in order to interpret, or in order to paint, to sculpt, in whatever art form you choose, it's probably gonna work, but when I tried it the first time, it really didn't. So it only made sense that the colors that you see here are all colors extracted from those very same environments where I visit, where I study nature in its natural habitat. So if you look at the painting here, you're looking at white, which is titanium, derived from titanium and mother of pearl. The different greens in the Naturalismo process come from different vegetable dyes. These little red flowers are Jamaica flowers, but guess what? I'm very excited about this red, and I'm very excited about this painting, because not only is the red natural, but it comes from the flower itself. So you're not looking at a red color painted flower, but you're looking at the extract. I have to sun dry the flower. I have to then boil the flower, and it releases its original vibrant red pigmentation through that process of drying and then boiling. The extract of that is what I used, but it happens to also be edible. So at different shows, when I have my paintings and collectors come from all over, sometimes we go around giving them a taste. in different ways of snack foods, of what the colors not only look like, but what they taste like. So this is nature through all 5 senses simultaneously. That is what Naturalismo is intended to do, which is to expose you to what nature really feels like, not necessarily what it looks like. And I can go on all morning to tell you about the different sources of color. When we go to the elephants, there is different clay from the different areas of Africa, where I did study the actual animals. The white has pigment from mother of pearl from the African sea. So I try to bring you a little window into the amazingly beautifully colored world of nature that God has brought to us as one of the greatest gifts, in my opinion, to humanity. So that having said, and having explained what Naturalismo is all about, I can tell you a little bit about my purpose. And I think you will all agree that we are here with one common purpose, and that is to find our gift, but then to make a difference with it and leave this world a little bit better than how we found it. That is the most important thing. Whether you become a doctor in the future, or whether you become a musician or a ballet dancer, what's important is that we take that gift and bring it to the world so we can live in a better place than what it was before we first arrived. So how many of you here are artistically inclined or like to paint or have an ability to express yourself through artistic interpretation? Can I see some hands? Very good. Excellent. What I want to tell you to all of you is talent is the process of expressing emotions creatively. And so you have a big task ahead of you, because to live in a creative world, you must lose all your fears, and you must open your heart in a very special way. God gave some of us talent, God gave some of us aptitudes, God gave some others different gifts. But talent is something special in that it requires to be courageous and just find your form of expression that is original enough that it will be noticed. So when I created Naturalismo, I said, I want to share with the world the amazing gift of nature's beauty. So how do I convey the fact that an elephant within its herd have a hierarchy of values and virtues that we human beings strive to pursue throughout our lives? One of those virtues, for example, is that elephants live in a hierarchy where there is respect, there is justice, there is compassion, there is unconditional love, and that's when we really get into what will I give the world around me other than just beautiful paintings. And at the core of the purpose is to share with you the amazing values and virtues that I have learned from the animal world. They are animal patterns of behavior that are just plain and simple admirable. When in an elephant group, they elect the one member that can best serve and protect the rest of the herd. So it is a democratic process. When this matriarch passes on and dies, they actually do have a funeral. And once a year, on that day, the elephants come back to where the event took place of mourning. So they do have a funeral, they come back with such compassion in honor and respect of their past leader. That's just one example. And if I had all morning, I can tell you that behind each and every painting, there is an amazing lesson to be learned, and it's a mirror of reflection of what our world of virtues and morals we could learn from. And that is all about the animal behavior. Having said that, I created this series. Oh, we have a PowerPoint and I forgot. Okay. Can you tell me this is... Okay.
Hit the down arrow.
I don't know if you can see this painting. It's a small lionfish from where you are. For all of you guys in the back, this is one example when I talk about creativity and talent, to be in the process of expressing emotions in a creative way. I wanted to create a piece after 30 years of Naturalismo that celebrated the different virtues of different animal behavioral patterns. And in this case, the lionfish that you see in the top and in the bottom, the painting is crossed evenly with a point in the middle. The upper and lower colors are the real colors of the lionfish. The right and the left are colors that are made up, because lionfish are not green and blue and turquoise. They are the oranges from the top and the bottom. So the top and bottom represent the animal world. The right and the left represent the human world. In the human world, we paint ourselves in many different colors according to what it may be convenient. We paint ourselves in any way that it may be advantageous. But in nature, animals don't change their stripes. Animals don't change their patterns. Animals have their DNA. Like in the case, so their behavior never changes. But the point about this painting, which is called Let's Act Like an Animal, is to try to emulate those wonderful virtues and those wonderful values that we can learn from animal behavior and adapt them into our own life. Like in the elephant world, like the compassion I spoke of, and like unconditional love, and like respect, and like justice. These are in the DNA of so many animals, and they don't change. So the center represents the point when we are all born. So animals, as we depart our eyesight from the center into the outer edges of the painting, the animals remain the same, and we do change. The second purpose for creating this geometric format is about the fact that we all live in one world, and we need to be respectful of our environment, and we need to really protect each other, because we cannot live in isolation. We need one another to prosper and thrive. So this is an example of how, when you want to create, when you want to convey a message, you have to be as creative as you can think of, so your emotions can be noticed, so your emotions can be heard. So this is Naturalismo. It's a fascinating world of bringing to the forefront of humanity the spectacle of nature's beauty, the amazing God-given gift that is all around us. We just need to tap into it, open up our hearts, and get involved in many ways. Basically, it is a story that started in a uniform in a Catholic school when I was your age, and I have learned one very important lesson, and that is that if you dream with your heart, anything is possible. So I encourage you to follow your dreams. I encourage you to engage with all your might into whatever it is that you feel of pursuing. So if there's any questions so far up to here, about Naturalismo, the process. How did I get here? The introduction was very nice and generous. Yes, I have over 3,000 collections. My work is part of over 3,000 collections around the world. Yes, Disney invited me to be their official artist. Yes, to a lot of these things, but believe me, when you dream with your heart, anything is possible.